You make it and we mock it. Well, hello, this is Jeff of Talflater Mouse. Do I need to come over your house and slap that mouse out of your hand? Apparently I do. If you get a reply from me in the comment section that does not have a verified check mark and the shadowed text as you can see on the left, then it's a criminal. NerdVPN will not protect you from being a sucker. Today on You Make It, We Mock It, we have a new slug made by Brian from Northern California. And this is one of many slugs that Brian has recently sent me to test out. Now, this is a pretty interesting looking slug because we can actually see through it and see the structure. It's like the Visible Man model or Visible Woman model that we built when we were kids. Well, I didn't because I was too poor. As far as slugs go, it's pretty light, weighing in at 0.65 ounces. It features a stainless steel tapered nose, a 1/4-20 stud through the center, and I believe a blind nut at the back. Now the body is made out of some kind of epoxy resin, and I don't know if that's going to hold up or not. We'll find out though. I've got 8 of these to test out. 4 of them were loaded into a Federal Target shell and recrimped, and that's about as simple of a hand load as you can get. The other 4 I'll use my own recipe, starting out with an FS12 gas seal, a Mach shot cup, which will function as a sabot to keep the projectile centered in the barrel and engage the rifling. Now I should mention that the Federal shell also has a shot cup functioning as a sabot. For the blue shells, we'll be using 21 grains of E3 powder, a real fast powder, suitable for light projectiles like this. And if you ever wondered how I was able to get a roll crimp like that, I have a special roll crimp that Nick Ross from Reloaders Network made for me that is made to roll crimp stuff with extended noses like that. It's kind of cool and very handy. I don't know if he sells it, but I hope he does. Well, I think I covered everything. Don't be a sucker. I showed you 2 different loads. All we have to do now is head out and test them out. Once again, we have Joe from Bakersfield as our launch director, our guest shooter, I guess we should say, and he graciously came down to help me out that day. In the first test, we're using that Federal shell, the simple hand load, and we had excellent spin, good stability, and we could tell by how fast that thing was spinning that we got complete engagement with the rifling. Now, one of my worries was that epoxy resin would just shatter from the very high pressures and shock from being shot, but it seemed to hold up quite well. I'm actually surprised.
Okay, I'm rolling and I'm ready. Not bad. Not bad. It's still shooting a little to the right.
Using the stock Federal shell, which was originally rated for 1,200 feet per second, we were able to get 1,357 feet per second, or Mach 1.24. Once again, we had great spin, great stability. The projectile hit the lead plate, came to a dead stop, and the amazing thing is that epoxy resin held up incredibly well after that impact. And we could see the projectile just falling to the ground right in front of the table there, pretty much in one piece. Well, that was an easy one to recover. It was right there on the ground. Let's get a little better detail. We can see that nose is pretty tough too. I believe it's stainless steel, but that resin sure held up well. We had the base shoved in a little bit, but great shot and great recovery. We had about 1 inch of depth of penetration, or up to my first knuckle of my index finger, which is 1 inch, believe it or not. Try it sometime.
Whenever you're ready. Oh, it's way to the left now.
Now, since we had the lead plate already set up, we decided to take a shot with the custom hand load with the E3 powder in it. And we achieved 1,583 feet per second, or Mach 1.45. And using this shell with the different load recipe, our point of impact is now way to the left. Still, it was a good impact, so let's see what kind of damage that did to our lead plate. Now this time the projectile burrowed itself much deeper into the plate. I can't even remove it. It might be about 1/4 of an inch deeper. It came pretty close to penetrating the plate, but fell a little bit short.
Okay, you hit something.
I think I hit the plate underneath. I think it dropped.
Yeah.
Now going back to the Federal stock shells, all of a sudden our point of impact was way to the right and way low this time. We decided to give it another try and it just got worse.
Okay, I'm ready. We got to bring the table closer.
In today's, if I didn't see it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it, slow-mo shot, a complete miss, but look how it perfectly penetrated that support bar. You couldn't get a better, more perfect screw up than that. So why did our point of impact shift so poorly? Well, we were using this new Go Watard red dot that Greg was kind enough to give us, but the two mounting screws that mounted to the kind of the base there were I'm not mentioning any names, but somehow the wrong screws were used, like one size too small, and the entire red dot was just kind of flopping around on the base there. Now the red dot came with like 4 different types of screws, and somehow just the wrong screws were used. It was an honest mistake, and I don't blame anyone for using the wrong screws, but we ended up taking that red dot off and just shooting without any sights for the most part. I mean, the shotgun has rear sights, but the front sight has been removed. Danny removed it because it kept falling off. So for the next shots, it's going to be hit or miss, quite literally.
Something can go wrong, it will. And it has. Okay. Are you ready? I'm ready.
You ready?
Yep. Stupid red dot, we didn't ever needed you.
Nope. Yep.
Shot number 6. He managed to hit it somehow. No front sight. And again, we're using the custom E3 powder load.
Oh!
Nope.
Now, what was left of our luck had completely run out. This shot, although completely stable, because we didn't have good sights, even iron sights, the shot went high. And the very last shot, shot number 8, was just an inch above the target. Some days are better than others, and I hope you still enjoyed the video. I think it was a great slug. We just were plagued with a lot of bad luck this day. Now, hopefully you still enjoyed the video. I would greatly appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up or thumbs down on the way out. Next week, Greg makes his triumphant return from Scotland.